Welcome to the Ed3 Podcast. My name is Rick, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Tisha. Tish, you're wanting to mix things up, so I'm going to mix things up as well. I've not got a question for you.
Oh, no. What?
I like to throw you off. You threw me off. We like to do this podcast. We like to create a little bit of a script that's not really a script, that we just
It's such a neurodivergent answer right there.
It really is. It's an answer, but not an answer. And it's, yeah. So you told me that you didn't want to do your usual juice box confessions at the end and completely threw off my plan of how we were going to record this episode. And you know what? I'm not going to give you a question today.
Well, that makes me really sad for 2026.
New year, new podcast, new way of doing things. That's how I look at it.
No, Brian, I disagree with this.
All right. Well, I want to bring up one thing. It is so cold here in the UK right now. So cold. And Tisha did not want me talking about the weather because it makes me sound old. It is.
He is older than me, by the way.
In mind,
we're not playing
body.
that game because I will win and it will make me sad.
We do not want Aileen to cry. Welcome, everybody. Aileen Wallace is our very first guest of 2026. And yes, we are going to start this episode off talking about the weather. I'm going to give you guys time to talk about how cold it is where you are.
It's -5 outside at the moment, I think. It's very cold.
Yeah, it's -1 or 2 here in Manchester. We've got the luxury of it being a little bit warmer. And we're not going to care about what Tish's weather is because she rubbed it in yesterday with me. So, Tish, I think we should go straight into Juice Box Confessions.
No. I want to talk about the weather here. You guys got to talk about the weather. I get to talk about my weather. What do you think the temperature is right now in Dallas, Texas?
Fahrenheit.
Are you centigrade or Fahrenheit?
Yeah, thank you. That's my question.
I do Fahrenheit, but I have...
Yeah, neither do I. We use proper temperatures, Tish.
I know.
I love it when we have
I know.
Centimeters.
We did talk about that the other week. Yes, Aileen. It's like it's an ongoing like discussion because he told me, I think we were talking about making toast. Like what was it? Cheese on toast, I think we were talking about. And so I was kind of trying to figure out what the temperature of things were and what were the measurements of things. And so I do a lot of recipes from the UK, actually. I just made Yorkshire pudding. Made that last. I know. Look at that face. See, I told you.
Well done.
But I had to do some adjustments. And so I am typically used to adjusting all of the measurements. So the weather always has me, though, in a chokehold because I cannot do the Fahrenheit to Celsius. So I have to have a little computer help with that. I know. It is 16 degrees Celsius currently. But yesterday, I believe it.
Yeah. Or in Scotland, high summer.
Yeah.
Yes, high summer in Scotland. Yes, you're absolutely right. And you know what's going to be really crazy, Aileen, though? Probably, and let's hope it's after TCA, but there will be a bout of like 1 to 2 weeks where it will just be horrible weather. Nobody will be able to drive anywhere. Everything's shut down because we don't know how to operate.
You'll relate to this very much so. You know how we have like 2 weeks of summer?
Yes.
Tisha has 2 weeks of winter.
2 weeks of winter.
Basically. That's probably the right way to put it. We get the nice weather for a short time. Tisha gets the bad weather for a short time.
Yeah. And we always get it in the middle of the exams.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So the kids' exams hit May, June. You'll get 2 weeks of absolutely blistering weather.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
And no
and
AC.
No
because
AC.
That's really what gets me. I have been over there when it's hot.
We have the venting in my classroom for the AC and they never fitted it. It just sits there.
So you have it,
me.
but oh my God, that's torture. Do you know what, Aileen? What is so interesting about that reminds me of me being a teacher when they would put me in the storage closet of my classroom. It's like, here, let me tease you with all of these amenities, but we're not actually going to give them to you. Well, it is warm here and the weather is lovely. And this is why I live here. I did make a post the other day. I think Aileen may have seen it. Everybody jokes with me about being cold all the time. I am cold all the time. And
because you have your aircon on like super cold for some reason.
I posted on the 28th. It's that time of year again, y'all, when it's too cold to function. And I remind you that I am tropical and I have no business in temperatures under or below 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So my dreams of living in Scotland are diminishing before my eyes.
I think you need to be a bit more realistic and say you're coming over for a 2-week holiday in May.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
that's it.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that. 2-week holiday in May. Yes. Well, we are so excited that you're here, and we are going to toss some things up. We normally ask about your story and do an intro, but you know what? It's 2026, and it's not a new podcast, but we are going to have more fun. And so what I want to ask you, and this is going to be different because, of course, I'm in the U.S. and you are in the U.K., so you guys are probably going to get this. Rick is going to laugh.
I'm super excited about this because I'll actually understand everything.
I think so. So what I need to know, Aileen, is if your teaching career were an 80s or 90s sitcom, what would that be?
Okay, this is going to make me sound really bad. We had one telly in the house I grew up in, and it was in the living room.
Okay.
And
Yes.
Dad had the remote control.
Oh, okay. This is good.
So-
Yes.
Sitcoms were not a thing. They were not a
okay.
thing.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
we were not. It was the news, and it was David Attenborough.
Okay. Tell
Okay.
me about that.
So I think my
A
teaching
biologist.
kind of like one of those David Attenborough
I
programs
see him.
when you're never
Oh.
quite sure what's happening, and at any moment there's a fear of death.
Yep.
But in the back of your head, you've got David Attenborough's voice going, "Here we see the teacher anxiously approaching the back row. The child may be looking at a phone in his pocket, or he may just be looking at his crotch."
Yes, that's it. That's so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got a new TikTok idea.
That's so good, Aileen. I know. I'm looking him up because I knew I wouldn't be familiar with everything, but I am seeing what he does now, and I think that's perfect. That's a perfect answer.
David Attenborough, when he's what is he? Is he 100 now?
Yes, I
Oh.
believe
Yeah.
so. I
We
believe
are
he is.
basically going to have 3 days of mourning when nationally when that man is
There'll
he has
be
brought
more-
up so many of us.
Yeah, there'll be more mourning than when the Queen passed away.
There will. I mean that is a man that has
That's
reached a lot of people.
crazy.
It's one of those
100
programs-
years old.
He's 100 years. He's still working.
Oh, he's 99 years old. He will be
99.
100 on the 8th of May. So we're
There
all
you go.
rooting for him on that one.
We're all rooting.
So
Yeah, I guess David is to here in the U.S. It's like Betty White, right? Betty White.
Yes.
She is
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
actress.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like we love her and it's going to be very devastating. So I totally get that. But that is a great description of your teaching
There's
career.
something that depressed me recently.
What?
So I vaguely remember watching the Golden Girls first time round.
Mm.
And then there was a whole bunch of stuff on Instagram about how old those characters were.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I am the same age
Yes, me too.
as those characters
Me
when they
too.
did Golden Girls, and they were meant to be old biddies.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm
you're-
looking at this going, no, I'm not
Don't
ready for this.
Don't you think it's interesting how the media portrayed people of that age? And then it's so interesting to me because when you look at people that same age now, you're like, you guys are so young. And I keep wondering, is it just because we think we're always young? Like I saw somebody posted something the other day of a little girl and then like in front of her would be an older girl to a woman, to an old woman, but behind holding her up was the same little girl. And it was such a striking image to me because I thought, yeah, I'm always that little girl, no matter what version or age you're getting of me. And so, yeah, I think it is very offensive that Golden Girls were portrayed in that way so much of the time. So it is my dream, though, Aileen and Rick, to live to be 100, but at least 95. If I don't make it to 100, I want to be 95. I've always said that. I think my intuition knows that I will be alive, and I still want to work just like
Good
David.
God, no. Oh, no.
I mean, if you love your work, though, right? Like, if he must really like what he does, if he's still doing it, right? So I
The
think
man
that
of a passion that's just
yeah,
Yeah. Always
yeah.
has
I
done.
don't know that I could teach, like teaching. I love teaching, but listen, that's a hard job. It's a hard thing to do. Well,
I'm just
what
trying
I
to
want
imagine you teaching at 95 years old.
It would be funny, actually. I think I would be the fun 95-year-old because I would be just like the kids. I would. We're gonna do a little segment in 2026. We don't have a name for it yet, but we are going to bring on a 16-year-old teenager to school us in the verbiage of today's teenagers.
No.
And we're going to practice. It's all going to be, how do I say? It's all going to be PG.
Okay.
Either one of those might work. It's not going to be anything outrageous, Aileen, but this 16-year-old is my son, and so he knows. He's come up with a little segment, which I love to empower the students to take the lead on something. And he said, you and Rick can ask me any question about technology or education, and I will freely answer it if I can teach you one word from the teenage language and have you practice using it in a sentence. So that's probably what we're going to do. Which is actually hysterical when you think about it. Okay, the second question, this Juicebox Confessional has already gone way over. It's supposed to be a quick fire, but we love it. We love all of this.
Yep.
What, if you were thinking back to your childhood, okay, what moment in your childhood deserves a dramatic freeze frame with music right after it?
I was 10. And it was my very first edition. Wind in the Willows musical had come to Inverness, little town up in the Highlands where I grew up.
I know where that is.
You know where? Yeah, Outlander country. Yes.
You grew up there?
Yes.
Oh,
I escaped though, so it's okay. And it was editions and for Wind in the Willows, and I should have gone into the older age group, but I was a very, very short child. So my schoolmate had said, no, you go with the little ones. You go with the little ones. So I was like, okay. So I went with the little ones. And I got the job and she didn't. And I got to stand there and just look at her and go, I'm in.
and it's because of her.
If I'd gone in with the big girls, I wouldn't have had a hope in hell. But because I was little, I was like, okay, I'll play it to my advantage. I went in with the littler kids. And basically what it taught me is play to your strengths.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I love it.
And sometimes let people lead you, right? Yeah. Because we talk about a lot about like leading ourselves or like leading others, but she led you to that and you were like, okay, let's see what happens. I love that.
Signed my first contract, age 10. Look at
me. Look at you. That is incredible.
That let me classify myself as a professional dancer, darling, because I got paid.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless at all the things you just said, and I can't even unpack them all. Rick will not let me. He'll be like, Tisha, we're on a time crunch.
Yeah, we're 45 minutes in, and we're still on question 2.
Wind in the Willows, a professional dancer. Oh my gosh. Okay. I knew this was going to be a good episode. Okay. Let's see. What part of teaching, this one is about teaching, but what part of teaching feels like it should come with a public warning?
Boys. Teenage boys.
Okay, being a bit more specific.
What age group do you teach?
So I
haven't taught that.
I've got high school, so I teach everything from 11 to 18-year-olds.
Okay.
So I've got the whole. It's taken me a long time to work out that you guys just teach one grade.
Yeah. I taught I taught the high school, so like 15 to 18. I had that age range, but yeah, specifically at elementary, they're just teaching that one age. Yeah.
They teach you lots of stuff in university, most of which is not useful.
For real.
And what they don't teach you is how to deal with the real moments. And the first school I taught in, and this is where the health risk comes in, the kids went through this habit of, the tacks you put in put your posters up in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
They had a thing of they were running in the corridor and they were just pushing these into kids as they walked round. And of course they'd do it and run on and nobody could catch them. And they would have been third year, so we'd have been about 14. And I just suddenly heard this thud. And I thought, what the hell's happened? And this kid has got his head on the desk. And I'm like, okay, teacher mode. Oh, we're focusing. Come on, eyes on me, eyes on me. And he very slowly picked his head up and went, Miss, I've just pushed a pin in my willy. He'd left them in his pocket.
You're absolutely right. So I want to say that this is not wrong. I think this warning for boys is for real. And I look at Rick. It's because
I've broken Rick.
I think you did. He's okay. He'll always recover.
I was not expecting that though. I think I need a few episodes to recover from that one.
To the nurse. This poor kid's walking like a half shut knife.
Yeah, I was thinking he probably would.
There's
boys.
nothing prepares you for this kind of stuff with boys.
I was going to say boys. Like, I didn't know, and I grew up with brothers, but becoming a teacher, the girl drama, I mean, I was a girl, so I kind of knew to expect that, right? The crying in the classroom, the crying over a boy, or whatever the case was. But the boy side of things, I just didn't really expect. And I don't have any specific stories like that, but what I can tell you is how I know I built up resilience after 2 decades, Aileen, of working with high school students, is now my son is 16 and all of his 16-year-old friends are around often. And I am not bothered by it. I have apparently built up a lot of resilience to boys, right? But the other day, one of them, I was dropping Jace off and one of the boys came over to say hi and he was like, "You're our favorite parent." And I was like, "Okay, why am I your favorite parent?" Because nothing really bothers you. Like, we can say things and you're not shocked by it and you don't get mad at us about it and you actually want to talk to us about it or teach us something. And I drove off laughing because I was like, I think it's just because of all the years, all the days, day in, day out that I dealt with stuff like that, right? Like
don't put aftershave in your ear. Don't put your finger in there. Stop touching that. No, you just eventually you get immune to it, and nothing they do surprises you. I've got a little first-year boy at the moment who I think his finger is surgically implanted in his nostril because it's up to his first digit the entire time. And you just have to roll with it and chat to this lad who's busy.
Like you're trying to teach and they're busy.
Okay, kids, let's have a serious discussion about the issues of hallucinations and AI. Well, miss, what? Oh, my God.
Okay, well, let's move into this because this is your experience is it's amazing. It's so similar to mine. What advice from early in your career, like things that you learned early on, would you pass on to the new generation of teachers? So if a new teacher is listening, what advice would you give?
The mentor I had when I was a probationer teacher 22 years ago, one of the best things he ever said to me was wear a Teflon coat when you come to school. So when you come to school, you put your imaginary Teflon coat on. Everything that happens in the day just slides off it. Yes. At the end of the day, you take your jacket off, you hang it up, you go home and don't take it with you because it's far too easy to carry it home with you and it sits and it festers and it festers. So develop your Teflon coat very early and keep it with you throughout your entire career.
It's such great advice. Well, let's
when
lead
it's flu season, get an actual one.
I was going to say, I think there may be some scenarios where you would need an actual one. Yeah. So let's do a proper intro for you. We are welcoming Aileen Wallace, who is an educator based in the UK. She is, and I love to do ChatGPTs on this because I love to see if it's accurate. And because I tell ChatGPT, I boss it around. I'm like, don't give me all the frou-frou stuff. I want the real stuff about Aileen. So your focus is on learning design and digital pedagogy and reflective practices. You're known for bringing the realities of classroom, as we've just discussed, along with the innovation, but not the hype version of the innovation. You want the real innovation and how it's really going to benefit.
God, I already know, don't I?
You do. But I already know this to be true. You are a trusted voice among educators who are navigating change fatigue, change management, those learning gaps, the AI disruption or curiosity, however you want to say that, the teacher burnout, the assessment reform conversations. You are speaking, and I think this is why you have such a great presence. You are speaking from practice. You're not speaking from theory. And I think that is what makes you so powerful in this space. And it aligns so much with what Rick and I talk about with neurodivergent thinking and learning and human-centered pedagogy and future-ready skills, and then that reflection over performance. But you're also not afraid, like we just talked about, to talk about the reality of being in a classroom. Like, you're trying to teach someone something very serious and they may have their finger in their nose.
Wedged.
Tell us, I want you to kind of tell us, how did you go from the Wind in the Willow dancer to the educator that you are now? What is your story? What made you become an educator? And tell us a little bit, because I pick up on it, but I don't want to assume it. Does neurodivergence fall in there in any capacity? Where does that passion come from?
I'd imagine there's an awful lot of that in there somewhere. I was going to be a dance teacher. That was I was going to, when I left school, I desperately wanted to leave at the end of 5th year. I already had my place at dance college booked, but my parents were like, no, you're staying on till 6th year. So 6th year was pretty much a bust. Did my dance training, got all the rest of it, and then had a massive pelvic injury, which turned out 30 odd years later to be diagnosed as endometriosis.
Wow.
So I had to quit dancing. I physically couldn't do it anymore. Ended up in retail. Various life changes happened, and I realized that I was not going to be able to live on my own on a salary of an assistant manager. It just wasn't going to happen. So I desperately tried to think, what do I want to do? What do I like doing? I loved history. I knew I could teach. I'll go and become a teacher. Unfortunately, I left school with one hire. That does not get you into university. That does not get you into university at all. So I had to do a year at a college in East End of Glasgow, and you did like a year's course, and it got you into university. So I did, including that, I did 5.5 years at uni, and sadly but luckily got a job before my probationary year started because a lady dropped dead. I know. And
that's one way to get in.
I know. I mean, it's not a good start, is it? The school phoned up University of Stirling and went, "Who have you got? We need them next week." And I got the job and then stayed on to do my probationary. So I would love to say I came to teaching from a genuine desire to do good for the next generation. But the honest answer is I needed a job and I knew what I was good at. So that's where I ended up.
And I think that's key, though. You knew what you were good at. How many people, and that's a question for our listeners and for us, how many people go almost their entire life and don't know what they're good at, right? I think that is so incredible.
And I think what it's also given me is I lost it for a long time. Like, this is my 22nd year teaching now, and I lost it for a long time, and I got stuck in that teacher rut of, this is what I do. These are my lessons. This is my subject. This is what I do. And it took me a lot to get jumped out of that. But then I remembered I went from being a dance teacher to working in shops. I've done bar work. I've done the stupid, ridiculous things. I can jump and change my career. I can jump and change the minute. I could try a bit of AI. It's like, let's go for it. What's the worst that could happen? You know? So I think I had to go back to where I started with teaching to find the fun again, because I had most definitely lost it.
I think that so many people listening are going to resonate with what you just said, because I think it is very much, you get in this rut, if you will. I was in it, was very much like, okay, this is what I was taught at teacher college. Like you like you said, they don't teach you a lot of the things that you need to know to survive the classroom. They're teaching you all of the instructional parts and how to create a lesson plan and how to do certain things. But it changes so much. And I think you going back to the beginning is, it resonates with me. And I think it will resonate with so many people listening.
Well, I'm just curious, Tish, before you divert us in a different direction. What was the moment that you realized you were in a rut? Because I mean, I know that I've had times where I've just been day in, day out doing the same thing over and over and over. And for me, it was very much of realizing what was actually making me happy. But I'm curious to see from your side, because obviously I'm sure there'll be people that are listening that don't realize they're in a rut right now. And your story may resonate with them.
We came out of COVID. We'd all had that horrific let's teach online debacle. And I tried teaching the same way I taught before COVID. And it wasn't working. I went back in the classroom and I did the same stuff that I'd done that had worked for 10 years. And it just wasn't working, and I couldn't work out why it wasn't working. And I was going home and in tears every single night, because I had a couple of classes that no matter what I tried, nothing changed. And it was just this rut of, what am I doing? Why can't I work my way out of this? Why is this not working? And the kids had changed and I hadn't.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You see? And that's what made me go, I have to try something else. I don't know everything. I'm not the expert in the room. And that's at the time that I discovered about Curipod, a thing I'd gone along to at the local council. And it was a throwaway comment that the guy had mentioned in like the last 5 minutes. And I went home and went, all right, we'll have a look at this and we'll see what it is. And bang, that was it.
Yeah.
And
that one moment
just changed. That one thing. And it just made me jump out of that rut and go, I need to look at this completely differently because the way I'm looking at it isn't working. And if I just keep going and going, and even my faculty manager was trying and he was coming up with, the kind of stuff that you do. Oh, we'll have a competition between the classes. We'll do prizes. We'll offer the kind of things that, and they just weren't working. Tried the Curipod, tried AI. My kids all had iPads, which I was resolutely against. I despised them. I loathed them. I was not an ed tech person. I just, and it worked. I got them on board. You try something else. Oh, that might work too. Or you try something and that didn't work, but I tried it. So that was it was coming back after COVID and suddenly realizing that I was completely lost.
It sounds, as you're sharing this story, it sounds like you were in this place of embracing. How do I even say this? You were embracing an unknown outcome, right? Like as a teacher, how difficult is it for us, really, as a collective?
We're dreadful.
We're gonna go in a room, and if you can't tell us what the outcome is gonna be, and we can't tell you what the outcome is gonna be of our own lesson, it's as if we have already failed. And what you did is you flipped the script on yourself, essentially, right? And you went, nothing else is working. So
nothing else is working. I've got to change. And I think go back to what I said. It made me go back to when I was young and stupid in my mid-20s, and I went, I know what I'll do. I'll go to university. And I was like, what on earth made me think, no, I've got to do something like that again? Because I am no longer the expert in the room. I am failing the kids. I'm failing me. Something has got to change. I can't make the kids change. So I'm the only thing that can change. So
there's a humility in that right there, what you just said. I have such a similar story to yours. It was the exact same thing. I literally was like, I can't keep doing what I have been doing for decades as a teacher because they're changing. Technology's changing. The world is changing. I'm not changing. And I'm supposed to be the force of change for my students, right? But I wasn't doing it. And it really was like this aha moment where I went, oh, I don't know everything. And I'm not supposed to know everything. And if anybody expects me to know everything, that's a major problem because we're all here in this room to learn. Yeah. So I think you said so many incredibly deep, powerful things, Aileen, and we're just not even 30 minutes into this podcast.
This year's podcast series will feature Aileen in all 6 episodes.
Exactly. Listen, we have been thinking how we're going to celebrate our 1-year anniversary with all of our previous guests. So just be waiting because I'm sure we'll be calling on you for something really cool. I love what you've said because I want to sit there. It's the new year, right? We are like 2 weeks into the new year. And essentially people, the majority of the world, have set new goals, put all of these expectations on themselves and others. And it's January. So, oh my God, we're going to go change the world. And I have been very passionate about, hold on. Do you need to add something else? Like maybe you should just reflect on what you've been doing currently, right? If I had just reflected on that as a teacher, much sooner, I would have been able to make progress sooner. But I was just so stuck in, let me just add one more thing and let me keep doing the same thing that I'm doing. I know it's not working, but I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to keep stacking things on top of the thing that isn't working. And then I'm sitting there wondering, well, why is everything falling apart? Well, I created that, right? So I think there's so much to be said there. Tell us about how you reflect. Do you find now, after that experience, do you reflect on your teaching practices often? What is your process for that? How do you do that as a veteran teacher? What would this version of Aileen tell the past version of Aileen who was just entering the classroom?
Oh God. My reflection, I get the kids to do it for me.
Oh, yes.
I ask them all the time, did that work? Did that not work? What did you like about that lesson? What did you not like about that lesson? What did you like about that tool? What did you not like about that tool? Do you want me to use it again, or do you not want me to use it again? And that tells me how it's working in the classroom.
Wow.
So I actually get my student, and they get used to it. Like, okay, there's a poll on the team. I need you to tell me what you thought of using Canva code. Did it work? Okay, there's a poll into what did you think about using that? And they'll give it. It's taken them a lot of time because they've suddenly gone, hang on. The teacher wants us to tell us how she's doing. There's a catch there. Yeah. No, we're not falling into that.
They don't trust it, right? No. They don't trust that you're genuinely asking.
It builds up the trust because I've got them to trust me when I've said, look, I'm going to get this wrong. And I might love it. You guys know it. You find a new ed tech thing. You're like, oh my God, it's the best thing in the world. And I'm going to use it for everything. Yeah. And you do it and it just dies on its death. And the kids go, no, we didn't like that, miss. That didn't work.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, I'll not use that. But if you don't ask them, they're not going to tell you because they're not used to that. So I think what I would say is you've got to have the experience of what you know. I will admit, I'd been a teacher 15 years before I knew what pedagogy actually meant.
Listen,
it was one of those words they banded around in university, and you do essays on it, and I still hadn't a damn clue what the thing meant. Because they just throw it, and you go, yeah, I'll just write the essay, hand it in, we're done. You've got to know your subject. You've got to know what works for you, but you've also got to get to a situation where your kids can trust you, and you can trust their response. So they will come up to me and go, no, that one didn't work, or I really liked using the school AI, or would really like using that. Or there's one of the girls at the last week term went, Miss, could we have something other than your meditation-y music today? Because I have my classical or my Skyrim or whatever it is going on in the background, and it gets a nice calm atmosphere going. Yeah. I mean, it's fine, miss, but could we just shake it up? And, okay, fine, we'll try something else.
You know what I used to do? Because I would do the same thing. I think our classrooms probably run similarly. When they were like, okay, Miss Poncio, like, we're tired of this. I was like, you know what? Let's make our class playlist. So every one of my classes, all 7 of them, I would make a playlist and I would turn on that playlist during that class period, and it changed their motivation. What it really does, it seems like you're doing something fun. And I used to argue, I know y'all aren't surprised, with my teachers or my principals or whatever, because they'd be like, what's the point? Like, why are you doing that? It seems like such a small thing. You put a lot of effort into it, and what is it really changing? Well, what it's really changing, you just said, it's changing the dynamic and the trust between me and my students. It's changing that I am affirming for them, that I am listening to what they are saying to me, and I am acting upon that. That builds a trust with your learners. And I love that you do that. What I want to know is, what did you let them listen to?
Oh, what did she want to listen to? She thought she was being so sort of out there, and it was something from like the 1990s that I think I'd actually gone to see them in concert. and I sort of went, oh yeah, I've listened to them, and you can see your face going.
Yeah, they think that they've discovered the band from the 90s or the 80s. Yes.
You're like, no, this is about the 3rd time round for me. Okay?
Yes, my 3rd time. That's so funny. Rick, do you have any follow-up questions on that?
What about music?
Well,
oh no,
about
please
any-
don't. Honestly,
No,
I
no.
put classical FM on or Skyrim goes on. That's about it. That's all I
Aileen
can
and I
do.
are in the same, I think we're in the same age group and we're in the same musical era because lately I've been listening, I'm not even kidding. It's called Classical in the background on Spotify and it is on all over the place. Or I'm trying to think, there's one other one. Oh, the fancy hotel music from Four Seasons. I'm not even kidding. I knew you guys would laugh. It is. It's so funny, but there's some Michael Bublé.
Writing this down.
Look, I can't say anything. I put like, you know, when you board an aircraft and usually there's some music playing in the background. That's what I'm usually listening to.
Aircraft music.
Yeah.
Yes. I think what's interesting though, and I'm going to segue into this because it is a segue. I want to talk about neurodivergence and I want to talk about it in terms of ADHD or dyslexia. I know between you and Rick, there is this passion about it. I talk about it all the time, but I think music, as we're speaking about music, we have to remember that our students also are responding differently to music. And so I had to just kind of go, okay, this student wants to listen to Eminem and this student doesn't want to listen to any music. I actually had students who were like, Miss Poncio, I don't listen to music. And I was like, what do you mean you don't listen to music? And they were like, we do not ever listen to music. I was mortified because that's how I survive. As a neurodivergent, I have to have music on somewhere, either in my ears as I'm on a meeting or playing on Alexa.
While driving.
Rap music while driving, it's true. But there always has to be music playing. And so that those students that said, I cannot listen to music and I choose, it is a choice to not listen to music. And then we've had a couple of guests on here who were like, don't ask me anything about music. And it fascinates me because I'm surviving on music. But don't you think that neurodivergent brains, ADHD brains, dyslexic brains, even the neurotypical brains, they have this particular preference. And usually you can spot it depending on what music is happening, what music is motivating them. Talk to me about your passion for neurodivergent learners, Aileen. Talk to me about how you accommodate for them. And even in your own personal life, if there's anything you want to share on that. I'm intrigued to know about this because you posted something on Facebook that really got me happy.
And I think fallen into it by accident.
Yeah, because you posted about Beth having what was it? A neurodivergent.
The lady's written somebody's written so I did a bit for Dan. This other lady's written about neurodivergent, and actually, what she and I was recommending was a lot of the same stuff. Find your quiet space.
Yeah.
Plan ahead so you know what's happening.
Yeah.
I love it. She did one thing. She said, if you're handing your stuff in to the cloakroom, take a picture of your bag before you hand it in. So when you go to reclaim it, you can just go, look, that's what my bag looks like. And I was like, actually, all of that just fits into a normal, to have a nice, calm day.
Sure.
Now, we've always, in schools, we've always had a lot of training on ADHD and neurodivergence and all this kind of thing, but it always felt removed.
Mm.
So it was done by the support teachers. It was done by the support for learning group. So you would get the email that said such and such child has been recently diagnosed as, here are the things that are going to be put in place. And it was always done by somebody else. And it never felt like I had any ownership or control over how I could actually help that child in the classroom. And what was one of the things that really kicked off me as a student I had, you'll be in... Oh my God, he'll be at second year at uni now. Yeah, he will be.
Time is weird.
Oh, didn't it? First and second year, he had a hell of a time. And he would kick off in classes where he just couldn't cope. And but he would come to my class and he was fine. And he could settle. He wasn't perfect, but my class was apparently the one he would said, can I please go to Mrs. Wallace's class? If anything else, hers is the class I want to go to that day. And he and I think I was about the last person he saw before he left school. And honestly, as he was going out the door, I hung it on together until he was out the door. And then I was just like, get gripping it, women. Scottish. Don't cry over these things. But watching him navigate high school, I realized the really easy things I could do to help him. So the dreaded Teams via Glow. I post up every day what the kids are going to be doing in class. So he could log on and know what the subject, what the topic was. This is what he was going to do. Here was the starter task. So before he even came in the room, he knew what to expect.
He knew, yeah. Because
if
with
even just a little bit, if I had done a seating change, if I changed the seating, I'd put up a warning. Just to let everybody know I've changed the seats.
Yeah.
So when you come in, it'll look a bit different. And it was just little things like that. Even things like I never put the big lights on. I never have the overhead lights on.
Thank you. Yes.
Because it's just too much. Kids don't need it anyway.
It's the
My
sensory,
old eyes do it. Yeah.
It's so interesting because you're really good at sharing these strategies that I do personally for myself. So as you're saying, it took you a little bit of extra time to give a warning to him so that he can know what's coming, what's ahead. It is this reality as a neurodivergent myself that we live in, that I know our students are living in. So when you think about, they don't have as many years living in the world as we do, right? So it is all new to them. But you are rehearsing, how is your day going to go? I'm going to get up. It's a constant, it isn't stopping. It's a constant little wheel that's going on. Okay, I'm going to get up at this time and I'm going to shower. And you're going through your day all day. So if you end up in a class, a math class or a meeting, for example, and something is changed or different or put on you that was not planned, it has the ability to put you in an emotional spiral, not because you are not able to handle those emotions, but because we have to have more processing time. And I think that's the beauty. He found safety in your classroom. The way that you were communicating with him was safe. And that signal to him, like, again, teachers would walk by my classroom, my lights would not be on. No. My lamps would be on. I would have lamps and I would have little twinkle lights. Why are you working in the dark? As if working under fluorescent lights equals I'm being more productive. That does not equal me being more productive.
Scottish winters, my classroom's south facing, so Scottish winters, it's quite dark. And I will say to the kids, do you want the lights on? No, we're fine.
Yeah.
We're absolutely fine.
It's calming to them. And then you start talking sensory. So like the lighting can be distracting. If I used to tell my mom, and this, I think this is something that I've talked more about it on TikTok lately, but I used to tell my mom, like I would cry before I would go to school. So you think about it, some of your ADHD, neurodivergent students, your dyslexic students, they have already battled 4 battles before they ever got to the school.
Yeah.
So for me, my mom would buy me these really cool, expensive sweaters. I hated them. Do you know why I hated them? They hurt my skin. They hurt. I don't even know how to explain it. And she would get so mad at me. Like, what do you mean they hurt your skin? They're not hurting you. You're not bleeding. Okay, but I cannot think while this thing is on my body. And so I would already probably have gotten a spanking, been grounded before I ever entered the school building, simply because of a shirt and its material, right?
I think the teachers have that as well, because we get these emails about the kids. This kid's got this, and this. Before that child's even walked in the room, you're going, oh my God.
Yeah.
So you're already, the kid's up here, you're already up here waiting for this child. They're going to kick off. They're going to kick off.
Yeah.
It was getting to know this young lad and him being brave enough to say to me, do you mind if I keep my headphones on?
Yes.
No, that's fine.
Yes.
Because I knew he was still listening.
How many teachers would say no?
I'm going to do a very un-Scottish thing here, and have a little boast. But I've had a couple of teachers from Kim's department that have said, for numerous neurodivergent kids, my room is the room they feel safe in. My room is the room they feel safe in. So I never have the overhead lights on. I've got, like you, I've got my little fairy lights at the back. I have a humidifier going with my aromatherapy oils. So whatever mood, if I want to wake them up, if I want to calm them down. The kids come in the room. Miss, this is the best smelling room in this school. I used to have a fish. I came back after COVID and I decided I'm doing what I like to this room. So I had a fish tank. And some of the boys, that was their thing. When they come in, and they would get to sit for a couple of minutes and watch the fish, or I deliberately gave them a seat at the front of the room. So when they were getting too much, they could just, and I could see them zoning out. But I thought, you know what, if I give you 4 or 5 minutes, you're going to come back to the lesson and you're going to stay there. We're not going to have this.
Yeah.
So that's everything. I'll be honest, most of it is to make me feel calm.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Most of
in
it is to
making
make me
you feel calm,
Yeah.
you are then creating this calm, safe space for them. It's so interesting because I was doing all of that without the knowledge that I was neurodivergent. I just knew those lights give me a headache and it makes me want to run away. I knew that the sound of water, so all the senses, as you're speaking, I'm seeing all the senses that you're hitting, and we are sensory people. Those senses, the smells, the sounds, they trigger and indicate for us it is time to do something, right? So your students are coming in hearing the water from the fish tank and they're smelling the scent for the day. It's all signifying to them, oh, we're in Miss Wallace's classroom and we're going to learn today. And this is what we're going to do, right? It's all about signaling to them. And when you do that,
they know coming in, if they need their iPads, they know coming in, their starter tasks already there.
They aren't
so they
thrown
get their
off
iPad out and
because
they're not having to worry about what, it's all there. And it's actually helped everybody. And this is more and more what I'm coming through to, is that Scotland, I think we're something like about 45% of kids have got an educational plan now. Almost 50% of our kids. At what point do we stop saying we have to be inclusionary and we just go, we just have to teach that way?
Yes.
That's just the way we teach.
Yes.
I'm hopeful David Curran won't mind me name dropping him here. David Curran in right down in England somewhere, and he does a lot of dyslexia stuff. And I know I never remember. I'm not a geography teacher. Having said that, I got through a history degree going the beginning of the century, the middle of the century, the end of the century. So what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah,
you're talking.
So we did an access all areas thing. Everybody from like P6 to S6, parents are invited in, and I'd done a stand on AI in the school, and I wanted to put posters up, and I had just discovered the Open Dyslexic font.
Yeah,
and I thought, oh my god, how did I not know about this? Yeah. So I did all the posters in that font because I thought I want everybody to be able to read this. I don't want to be producing a separate handout and go, this is yours.
Yes.
I wanted everybody. One of my lads, I haven't taught him for a couple of years now, but he's still in the school, but I know he is dyslexic. And he stood and he looked at the board. And he went, why did you do that, miss? So I explained my rationale. And you'll understand, having worked with teenage boys. And he just looked at me and he went, nice. And walked away.
That's a compliment.
And I was like,
that is like the biggest compliment ever.
That was a ticker tape parade.
Yes, it was.
And I was talking to David about it, and he was like, he said, I think I just reduced the poor man to tears. But he's like, we need to, it's no longer the extra thing we should do.
It shouldn't be.
We have so many students with extra needs. Why is that extra? Why is that not just normal?
Yeah.
Well, it's like what you say, Tish, that if you accommodate for the neurodivergent, you accommodate for the masses.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yes. Just start planning your lessons, planning your classroom design, planning everything in that mindset. And if you don't know, if you are neurotypical, I promise you probably have a neurodivergent friend who will guide you and help you and tell you, you know what? Those lights drive me crazy. Turn them off. The music, give them a choice, right? Like shuffle it up. I used to take my CD player when I was first teaching, and I would switch out the CDs. So I would have my CD tower, and I would let them pick. Like, they would get choices and we would rotate. I mean, giving them the autonomy to be able to say how their classroom is going to be experienced, rather than it just being my classroom, I shifted it to our classroom. And I think if you can find someone, another teacher, another adult, a parent who is the parent of an ADHD or neurodivergent child, they will tell you, like, when people ask me, how can I, like Rick does this a lot. He'll be like, I am learning how to, he'll say, like, and he is neurodivergent, but just because we're neurodivergent doesn't mean that we are the same neurodivergence, right?
No.
And so he'll say, I just have to learn how to, communicate with you on the level of ADHD. So I think in patterns, and I can quickly move from pattern to pattern to pattern to pattern because I can see it all.
Yep.
But I have a difficult time bringing my friends in the conversation along because my brain moves so quickly. And Rick has gotten really good to say, okay, we were talking about this, and then you talked about this. Can you please, this is a great strategy. Can you please tell me how those two things are related in your brain? And I'll go, yeah. Like, yes, let me tell you how they're related. I'm so excited about saying it. But do you know that the majority of my life, people have not said that? They have said to me, you don't make sense. You don't know how to communicate effectively. You don't understand what we are talking about. Understand it? I understand it better than you probably do. But you don't know that because you're not inside of my head.
I think that's the thing. In education, there's right or wrong answers.
Oh my gosh. The death of me is right or wrong answers.
No matter what we do, we teach to the test. I have got my course specifications from the SQA, and I need to get the kids through that course. And it's really, I don't want to say brave. It's not brave. No, it isn't brave. It's taking the chance to think sideways, and a kid gives you an answer. And I'm like, well, that's not what I needed you to give me. But instead of going, no, how did you get there?
Yes. Asking them the question back.
Why did you? Okay, there's no right or wrong. I just like to know how you got to that answer.
Yes.
And what that lets you do is work out a little bit of their thinking and how they did or did not connect to your lesson.
Yeah.
It's why I don't like this AI marking.
Ooh,
I don't want AI marking my kids' stuff because I will learn from their answers what's landed, what's not, what they've understood, and what I need to go back and do again. So how did you get to that answer? Tell me why you think that. But to find the time in the school year to say, how did you get there? It's really difficult.
Because it's the pause. As teachers, it's difficult for us, and I think just people in general, it's difficult to sit in the silence and ask back. Tell me how you got there. Show me your thinking. Walk me through. Rick does that a lot. Walk me through how you went from here to here, A to B. Explain to me what you are trying to achieve. It's taking the time to ask them questions about their answer instead of just going yes, no, right, wrong,
But
pass, fail. Yeah.
But as well, what you're doing is also teaching the whole class how to actually communicate to different types of learning minds, essentially, because when we're in the classroom, we're always told this right, wrong. That's how it was when I was in the classroom. And when you go out to the world, you have that same mentality, which is why the likes of myself and Tisha, when we explain something or we answer the question, we're told that it's wrong or you don't understand or you're confusing or whatever it is. So when it comes to, you've got a class of 30 students on top of all the other classes that you also have, there's going to be teachers who are going to say, well, I ain't got time for doing all of that. I've got a curriculum to keep to. I've got things to mark and all this kind of stuff. How would you suggest or advise other educators to start to bring in these ways of teaching to help build towards something that's going to be greater?
I think we're overly concerned about being right. And I think we're overly concerned about what other people might see when they pass our classroom. You think about, my school's been trying to do peer observations, so encouraging people to go in and out of classrooms, which I think is a marvellous idea.
Yeah.
But we're trying to do it in a really structured way, and then we're meant to give it, and it's putting the fear of God in people.
Oh, you know what? I want you to just stop right there because that brilliant idea. But now we've put so much structure and right and wrong into how to execute it. We've now lost the brilliant idea and the brilliant.
There's a lovely Padlet for everybody to put their feedback in, and now everybody's worrying about, oh my God, they're all going to read my feedback. I better make it look good. And what they've done is lose all that good stuff they saw in a lesson, because even when they're watching the lesson, they're worrying about what they're going to write in the Padlet.
They're not present in the lesson in that moment. They're already thinking.
Stop worrying about what somebody else thinks of your classroom. And again, I've got like you, I've got 20 odd years under my belt, and I'm basically at a point of whatever.
We all get there. I mean, like, listen, it doesn't even matter if you're a teacher, right? You're going to get there one day. You're going to be like, it doesn't matter.
Take that time. And if I don't finish the curriculum, we'll get enough for them to pass the exams. And you know what? At the end of the thing, your life is not going to revolve around making sure you get your 8 standard grades and your 5 hires. I would much rather you left my classroom thinking, I would like to find out more about that and not be frightened of learning than going, oh my God, I must be crap at learning because I didn't get my Nat 5 Modern Studies with Mrs. Wallace. No, don't worry about it. Did you learn something about how the police work that will affect your life? Yeah, there you go. Did you learn how to vote in the next Scottish general election? There you go. Do you now understand that AI can't be trusted? That's going to be more helpful to them.
Yeah.
But I think that comes from my background of leaving school with stuff all qualifications because I hated school. I couldn't wait to get out of there. And then coming at it from a completely different angle. So I didn't go school, uni, teacher.
Sure.
I took a different course. I'm not denigrating the people who do that. I take my hat off to you, who go, you know what, I want to do this, go for it, love it. But I think it's a different viewpoint.
I agree. I agree with you. I did it that way. I did exactly what you said, right? And I thought I liked school, but I struggled in school. I liked the social aspects of school because I was ADHD.
I couldn't stand it. Hated it. I absolutely hated it.
I was, I mean, this is not new to anybody. I was a cheerleader. I was bringing all my friends together. I was organizing things. Like, I was just having a great time. But then you want me to sit down and listen to a teacher talk to me for 15 minutes? Why? We have things to do. Let me go do the things, right? But I think going through that pattern, it was very linear for me. And I agree with you. I think that you coming to it in a different way, right? That perspective plus my perspective plus Rick's perspective now makes us so powerful if we would sit down around a table and talk about how are we going to move the needle for our students and move the thinking and adjust things. I think it takes all of those perspectives.
One of the things that I keep coming back to at the moment, I joined in a webinar with Dyslexia Scotland recently. And the woman who started it off was talking about how, and I didn't know this, it shows how naive I am of the world, that the electric toothbrush was started as an accessibility thing for people with reduced mobility.
Yeah.
And now look at how the number of us that have an electric toothbrush.
Yes.
It's just the norm.
It's
That's
the norm.
what we need to do. Because
then we won't have the accommodations. Like even as an adult with ADHD actually diagnosed off the charts, I can have accommodations, right? Under the America Disabilities Act, there is accommodations for ADHD, whether I am a student at a university or just a worker in the working environment. But think about, just like you said, what if we didn't have to do all those extras and then everybody just operated that way? So my question for you is, how do we go from the 20% of neurodivergence in the world, getting the other 80% to kind of operate and accommodate in a way that we're already doing that? How do we go from where we're at to that dream world that you were talking about?
That's a massive societal shift that I don't think humanity's ready for.
Yeah.
Because you then have to accept that there is no normal.
Yes.
You know, we go back to our Golden Girls.
Yes.
When that came out, ladies over 50, you were done.
Yeah.
That was it. You'd had your kids, they'd gone off. Your husband, you'd been abandoned or they died or whatever. Go and live together in your weird little house in Florida. And women, you got to 50 and you vanished.
Yeah.
And nowadays, no, thank you.
No. 50
so
I think where 50, it starts.
We need to change societally what is acceptable. And I think for the majority of people, we like being able to point at people and going, they're different to us, so I must be better. You're not better. You're all just different.
Yep.
So good.
So we need to change it from, we need to make education the electric toothbrush.
I think that is the title of this episode. You just gave the episode its own title. And I mean, in under an hour, Aileen, that was perfect. Listen, this has been incredible, but I have more questions for you. And we got real serious. And we could deep dive society and all the societal changes.
God, yeah.
But we're not going to do. I am going to bring a little bit of a playful follow up onto this because I know
Juice Box Confessions Part 2.
It's kind of part 2. It's kind of because it's like Aileen is on a roll, and I want to know what is something you've never said publicly about teaching, but you wish more educators would admit
that we don't like it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We've got martyr syndrome.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have, I could count on one hand the number of times I've taken work home to mark. I don't do homework. It gets done during the school. I'll admit, I'll sit at home and I'll play around with my AI stuff till I'm going blue in the face. But that's because it's fun for me. That's my fun. Right?
Yeah.
I told you I was weird and sad.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, no, there is this thing of I must spend all my money on the classroom and I must give up all the hours of the week so my kids don't see me so I can go to the school dance. And I go, no, go in, do your job, go home. If you do your job well, that's all that counts. I'm going to freak poor Rick out. No, let me have a think about this. Let me rephrase this. I want a doctor who knows their profession, and I don't want them doing it because they like looking at people's bodies. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wonderful scene in Ab Fab when they're going on about our gynecologist, and he's like one of those men that just goes into the garage. He's just tinkering around down there. I don't want somebody that's OBGYN because that's what they find fun. No, I want it. That's what you're good at.
This episode is so good, and I'm so excited. This is what we got to start 2026 with. Aileen, you are so much fun. And aligned so much with what this podcast is
freaking
about.
out Rick, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
no, it's so good.
It's absolutely fine, to be honest.
It's a goal.
I want somebody who's a teacher because they know that's what they're good at.
Yeah. It goes back to what you said, knowing what you're good at.
Know what you're good at.
Yes.
And if you can be good at that between 8:30 and 3:30, you don't need to do anything else around about it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
there's nothing wrong with that.
You know what? You are just such a mentor to me. I loved you before this episode. I was fangirling about you before. Now it's even more. Aileen, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Tell people where you're going to be in the next couple of weeks. Share how they can find you on socials. We want people to connect with you because I feel like this
brilliant.
Is a Substack series for you. If you've not done Substack or you're blogging, I feel like
I have now. So one of the companies I'm an ambassador for is going to look at Substack. So I have gone and signed up.
Yeah.
It's confused the hell out of me.
Yeah, it is.
But I am signed up. So I'm AI with Aileen, basically across the board. LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, anything AI with Aileen, you'll find me. If anybody's going to be at BET, I will be at BET on the Thursday and the Friday. School AI have very kindly asked me to help out in their booth one of those days. I don't know what one. Otherwise, basically, I'll be stalking the Canva deck and the Net Support guys. I will be the one with traffic cone earrings on. So if anybody sees a short little lady with traffic cone earrings, come up and say hello. That will be me. Yeah, that's me. Come and say hello.
Yes, connect with you. I thank you so much for taking time. I know it's holiday and you're about to get going and doing all the things, but we are just so thankful that you chose to spend a little over an hour with us. We've had so much fun with you before we hit record, while we've been recording. And I know when we hit end, it's also going to be a party. So the Play at 3 podcast with Aileen Wallace, our very first guest of 2026. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers. Excellent. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up, give us a follow or subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, but means you don't miss any future ones. And if you've got any questions for us or for Aileen, please leave them in the comments, or you can find her on socials. All the links are in the description. Until next week, we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Bye.